Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Chat and Chuckle, where we dive into religion, self-development, and experiences to help with everyday life. We're your hosts, Aisha
and Queen Yasin.
And whether you're tuning in on your morning commute, during your afternoon break, or winding down in the evening, we're here to provide you some reflections. So take a deep breath, open your hearts, and let's dive into today's message. In today's episode, we're talking about time management as a Muslim. So get comfy, grab your favorite drink, get your notepads, and let's get started. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you enjoyed this show. Now let's dive right in.
Why am I here? You said time management as a Muslim.
Yeah.
Why would you assume I'm Muslim?
Okay, so to start with, since Yasin used to be the one asking questions, Yasin, tell us, when you think about time management, what comes to your mind?
I don't want to tell you. But anyways, okay. Let me be serious for once. For me, time management basically is just like another phrase of like, you know how us Muslims talk about balancing deen and dunya, basically, you know. And normally when you talk about balance, you ask yourself, you know, what is out of balance? And most of the times what is out of balance is basically, you know, our deen. And this is like, for example, how when we look at our lives, you know, we're basically doing dunya stuff. Now we kind of feel guilty and we're like, wait, I'm doing a lot of things, like I'm working, I'm going to school, but I can't find time to fit in deen, which is kind of like, it's kind of wrong, that ideology, like to have that ideology, because we're here to work for our akhirah. So, but we prioritize here than over there. But again, whatever you work for here can be, you know, for your akhirah if your intentions are right.
Yeah.
So to me, basically, time management is you trying to basically juggle deen and dunya as a Muslim. You can disagree, but that's it.
I mean, I agree with that
Yeah.
to some extent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you always got some extent.
I don't know. I feel like time management as Muslims, like you said, it usually comes when we talk about balancing dunya and dunya, is when our dunya is taking over our akhirah planning, you know. But as Muslims, you know, we have enough time. At the same time, we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
You know, we have the same 24 hours, even though we're sitting down feeling like, oh my God, time is going by so fast, you know. But technically, what we're actually doing is not prioritizing our time.
Exactly.
You know, so when we feel like our deen and dunya, they are like not balancing, or we're struggling to keep our deen intact, it's usually because we have poor time management skills.
Yep.
You know, and time management affects our imaan a lot.
Oh yeah, it does.
You know,
Yeah.
and which is what I want to talk about first. Imaan. Imaan is like a seed, basically, right? When we want to basically grow a plant, and okay, I need to stop saying basically, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I said I wouldn't say basically again, and it just comes out. Anyways, I'm not saying basically anymore. Let me know if I'm saying it, okay? But when you want to grow a plant, let's say I come to your house and I eat some mango, and I'm like, this mango is very nice, and then I take the seed home, I want to go plant it. I'm not just gonna throw it at home and expect it to germinate into a beautiful, delicious, scrumptious mango. No, I have to put time and effort to make sure it actually grows well. Time and effort as in growing, as in giving it enough sunlight, making sure it has enough sunlight, putting it in a place where it can have enough sunlight, watering it enough, you know, making sure I'm putting in a soil where it's fertile, you know. And I have to also keep in mind that there are some things that will actually affect it, as in extreme weather, as in pest control. I'm not gonna look at a pest, you know, eating my mango tree and I'm just gonna sit down and wait for it to actually germinate. No, I have to do something. It's the same thing with our iman. And I believe time management in this case is our pest that is eating our iman.
True.
You know, there are several other things that affects our iman, as in, you know, people around us can affect it, shaitan, the whispers can affect it, you know. Again, poor time management. As Muslims, the sunlight, the water that the seed needs is all part of the things that our iman also needs to grow. Basically, I digress. I mean, like putting effort as in your salah, your Quran, listening to dawah and stuff like that. So let's get into the stuff that we need to do to make sure our time management is done and done correctly. Yasin, what do you think we should do as a Muslim to make sure we have a good time management practice?
I mean, I'm gonna have to steal this from you, but it's basically spending, like, when you make the most of your time, because most of the times what we do is we complain that we don't have time, but then and we say we're busy. But when you look at our schedule, most of the things we spend doing that busy period, we're spending it doing things that are not important or that are not relevant, or we're doing things that are taking away from, like what you said, not here but like when we talk, taking away the barakah from our time. Because yes, we don't have time, but I would rather have barakah on my little time than have a lot of time without barakah. So it's like we spend a lot of time that we say, oh, I'm busy, I go to work, I have to cook, I have to drive the kids, I need an alone time. And when we have that, we basically, I said basically, we spend it on things that are not like benefiting to us. So make the most of your time. And we always have to remember that, just because you're doing some dunya stuff doesn't mean that you don't do some deen stuff with it. Like, for example, we say, oh, I'm busy, I have school, I get off work late, I tomorrow I have to be somewhere, I'm doing overtime, I don't have time to just to like wake up and do things that I used to do before, and it's crazy when you look at it, because it's like, how when you make dua for something, and before you got it, you were always there with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But now Allah has answered that dua, but that dua is keeping you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you now it's busy, you're busy. Oh no, now I cannot do this worship, I cannot do this ibadah, because I'm busy. But you asked for that dua and Allah gave you that dua. And Allah is not saying, oh, I'm gonna send you to this dunya and be miserable, don't work, I just want you to worship me. No. You, like I said before, like in the beginning of this, like the podcast, I said that everything you do in this dunya is for your akhirah if your intention is right. So you cooking, you listen to Quran, you don't have to spend your time when you were busy. You always, like, you were busy, but you also always have time, because it's not like, for example, I'm cooking, okay, I'm busy, but like, what am I listening to? Because most of the times I remember how before back home, when I would like clean the house, I'm blasting off music, like I'm blasting off music doing chores. I could have used that time like to listen to Quran. When I'm driving, you can do istighfar, istikhara. When you're doing other things, you can basically be remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Did you say istikhara?
Istighfar. Istighfar. So what I'm trying to say, let me not repeat myself again, but I'm trying to say is, whatever you do for this dunya can be for your akhirah. When you're doing dunya, it doesn't mean deen doesn't fit in. Deen fits into everything, because you're earning halal money, you taking care of the kids is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala too. You cooking is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala too. You cleaning the house is also worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So why can't you always remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you're doing all, even going to the gym is also worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're looking after the body that He gave you. So the mistake we make is that, oh, I'm busy, so if I'm cooking, I don't have time for Allah. This is not Allah's time. We think that we have to be like, okay, from 5 to, let's say, from 2 to 5, I have to sit down and read Quran. That is good, but if you cannot afford that, at least try. When you're doing other things, remember Allah.
Yeah, I just want to add on the complaining.
Yeah.
Like, we need to stop complaining as Muslims.
I don't think
we
can
complain
do that.
a lot. we complain so much that we start to forget the blessings Allah have given us, because we are focused on the negatives. We complain, oh, I don't have time. Oh, it's so hard for me to wake up for Fajr. Yet you're going to bed at 2 a.m.
Exactly.
Fajr is at 4 a.m. How do you expect that you're gonna wake up at 4 a.m. after 2 hours of sleep?
I know.
And then you're like, oh, it's just hard for me to wake up Fajr. Have you tried going to bed early first?
No.
Let's try that first and see before we can talk about it's hard for you to wake up Fajr. And also, even if it's hard, then you have to wake up at some point.
Exactly.
If you know that you need 6 hours of sleep in order to wake up, officially, like actually wake up, why don't you go to bed 6-7 hours before Fajr? We sit down and complain that things are so hard, but we don't really sit down and plan and make like list our priorities.
Yeah. Sure.
It's as if we revolve our life. No, we don't revolve our life around our deen. We revolve our deen around our life. It's like we have other things to do, and whatever extra time we can squeeze in, oh, that will be for Allah. I have so many things to do. I'm just gonna spend. You know what? I'm just gonna spend 2 minutes praying. When you know that you need at least 5 minutes to pray, let me just, at least it's over with. Let me just get it done with. And I have so many things to do. I have to go and do this. I have to go and do that. You have to ask yourself, what you're doing at that moment, are you supposed to be doing that in the first place? Is it really important? Like watching TV. I'm not saying do not watch TV. I watch TV. You can take time to relax and all that. But when you spend hours watching one show, going to another show, when your Quran has not been opened, it's probably collecting dust. It's probably collecting mites.
Girl, why are you pointing at my how do you call this? What is this thing? My bookshelf.
Girl,
ain't nothing dusty over here.
But then it's like, oh, I don't have time to read the Quran. But you haven't even made a schedule and added Quran to it. Your schedule is wake up in the morning, maybe pray Fajr, and then go look for food, and then sit down and watch TV, and then when they go on break. I remember when we were young, when we used to watch these telenovelas or Indian movies, and it's time to pray, but we don't want to miss the scene. We're standing there watching, finish. As soon as the scene is finished, everybody rushes to go and get the prayer done and then come back because we don't want to miss any scene. And it's like, subhanallah, that's so crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, like we were young, but still it's crazy, And now many people, now we don't have those, like we have access to Netflix, you can pause it and everything, but still it
still affects the salah still.
It does affect the salah, many people will not pause and say, okay, let me go and pray and come back, But yeah, we really need to really, really prioritize and ask ourselves the things that we're doing currently. I am not saying do not go and enjoy yourself. I'm not saying do not relax. We're not saying that, okay? But the things you're doing right now, how best can you use your time to actually benefit yourself?
Exactly.
In terms of deen, in terms of bettering yourself as a person, how best can you use it? The time you're using to watch TV 5 hours, you can spend 1 hour there. But for most of us, 1 hour is even too much. It's like Shaitan is telling us that the time we are giving Allah is just too much, and we expect Allah to answer us right away, but we don't even answer him right away, But anyways, let's go into the next point. Yasin, what next do you think should be done when it comes to time management?
Oh, I'm gonna steal this from you again. Basically, it's my second. Basically, Lord have mercy on me. But rewiring, you said this. Rewiring your brain, unlearning bad habits, being disciplined, because we teach ourselves these bad habits, and then like you said, we go on and then we complain. Oh, I can't do it, but you can do it right now. Oh, I get tired. because you accumulated these bad habits. It's like how was it 2 days ago when we went for a walk, and I was talking about how I remember in Gambia I used to be a very energetic person. I get to do things. I don't get tired easily. And you told me, how long have you been here? And ever since you came, you're not like doing the things you were doing before. So it's like it's like I've accumulated this bad habit of just, I love to sleep, guys. Sleeping is, I love to sleep.
One day you will come and I'm missing. I have been kidnapped. Yasin is asleep. I have screamed for her. I have shouted. She will not be there to help me out.
I love to sleep. I'm a deep sleeper too. I mean, I could be a light, but I'm a deep sleeper too. So you see, it's hard. That's why they said don't get used to bad habits, because if you do, it's gonna be very hard to let them go.
It is.
Yeah, it's very. So when you rewire your brain, and it's not gonna be easy, obviously. And like you said before, we want fat. We want abracadabra. The problem with us is we take a long time to build up something, but we don't want to take that same time to unlearn it. So we just want, I'm gonna start going to the gym and I want to see results right now. If I don't see results, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna go back to the gym.
It reminded me of, I think it was Numan. Numan Ali Khan
Yeah.
or Omar Suleiman, one of them. You know, I've been mixing all these people. Honestly, I'm so
How can you
terrible.
mix Norman Suleiman?
Like I'm so terrible with names. Like I can identify them when I see them.
Yeah.
But
the
to
names.
remember who said this, who said that, I
okay.
can't remember. But there was this lecture about imaan,
Mhm.
and it reminded me of this. He said, one of them said, you know, like it takes a long time to build an imaan and struggle, but it takes like for it to come crashing down.
Yep.
It's like you just set a building on fire.
Exactly.
And that's how it is with our habits.
Yeah.
It can take a long time to build a good habit for yourself, you know. But if you make a mistake and you slip up, everything can come crashing down.
True.
You start with, okay, I'm just gonna take, you know what, I'm just gonna spend 1 hour doing this. Like me, let me take myself as an example. When I started opening, like using TikTok, I was not on it. It was on my phone for months. I would not open it, but as soon as I started opening and actually being active on it, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna spend 30 minutes on it. Then 30 minutes turned to 1 hour. Then 1 hour turned to 2 hours.
Yep. 3 days.
And then it was like, oh my god, and then I could feel it. I could actually feel my brain getting tired. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Like I felt like I'm consuming so much. My brain was just like overwhelmed, you know. It was like concentrated with so much things that I was actually saying, you know. And it actually took a lot of discipline to actually rewire myself to the extent of saying, oh, I can go days, probably weeks, and not open TikTok, you know. So that's it. We have to also build a system that works for us. Building a system is very important. It's okay to have a goal. It's really, really okay to have a goal of this is what I want to achieve in life. But you have to build a system that will get you there, you know. Example I will use is our Ramadan goals of finishing the Quran. Many people, oh, Ramadan, I want to finish the Quran. Ramadan, I want to finish the Quran. Okay, Ramadan comes, you finish the Quran, and then what? And now what? You know, the Quran having packed back on the shelves, and again dust are being accumulated on the Quran. You know, many of us, our Quran actually look like new Quran. It's like you just bought it yesterday because the opening of it is not frequent, you know. And it's like you haven't built a system that works for you. That's why the last Ramadan I said I wasn't gonna even think of trying to finish the Quran because I know, number one, it was just like a goal thing. It was like a temporal thing. It was just a Ramadan thing, and that was it. I wanted to build a system that will help me, you know, that will actually be lasting. There are some knowledge that we've had from the age of, let me say, 12, and it's the same amount of knowledge we have at this age. It hasn't added. It might even decrease because there are some things, if you don't remember it, you start to forget.
True.
So it might not even be the same knowledge. It might actually have decreased over the years, but you haven't increased your Islamic knowledge, you know. So we have to build a system that works for us. When you build a system that works for you, you're able to actually manage your time properly. So like, let's say the new system I'll build myself, go to bed early. I struggle with sleep. After Fajr, I really struggled to go back to sleep. Last night, I was struggling, this morning, I was struggling so much to go back to sleep. I woke up at Fajr, I woke up at 4, and I didn't sleep till like 5:30, you know. I was like, oh my god, I need to sleep. So sometimes Shaitan will come and be like, you know what, since you struggle to go to sleep after Fajr, why not just not wake up for Fajr and just sleep your hours, and then whenever you wake up, you know, you're fine, you pray, Allah understand, you struggle to sleep, you try your best, you know. And these are actually thoughts that will come to my head, you know. But it's like, if I went to bed early, because those times I'm going to bed like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., you know, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna still struggle to go back to sleep. And if I struggle to go back to sleep, at least I have had enough sleep. But if I have not had enough sleep, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. I'm gonna be probably, you know, upset the whole day or stuff like that, or sleepy the whole day, you know. But having to go to sleep early, you know, and have at least 5 hours of sleep, and then wake up.
Girl, this is scientifically. Why are you saying 5 hours of sleep?
That is for you guys. For me, I don't think I've ever slept 8 hours unless I take like a really like this drugs that will knock you out. Then I'll sleep 8 hours. But I don't think I've ever slept 8 hours all at once myself. I have to wake up.
I can't relate.
But anyway, so go to bed early, wake up early, you know, instead of taking the phone the first thing in the morning, do other things. Leave your phone alone. Many of us, when we wake up, we are on our phone checking Instagram, checking Facebook, for those who use Facebook, checking TikTok, checking all social media, checking Twitter and all those things, you know. That's not a good system to have. It's gonna mess with you. And I've realized that once your morning is messed up, it's really hard to adjust your day. Because you've really wasted like the beneficial time for you. And as Muslims, the Prophet ﷺ said the time that Allah has blessed most for his ummah is the early hours of morning. So imagine there is so much barakah flowing in the air that morning for you to do so many things, you know.
You say, let me go and pollute it.
Right. You said, let me go and use it to waste time. Let me go and use it to be on TikTok, to be on Instagram doing work. You could even use it to study, and that's even better than actually spending your time on social media for so long, you know. So building a system is really important when it comes to time management. There are some people who have so much busy, like they have busy schedules. I know a friend who, you know, he reads 10 pages a day, Quran, and it's impressive, but I know that I'm not even attempting that for myself because I know myself and I know it will not work for me. It is a good thing and I aim to achieve it later in life, inshallah, but I know I will not be able to achieve it. This morning I was like, okay, I don't want the sleep to go, let me go back to sleep, hurry up. But I was like, okay, let's just try at least read 1 page of Quran. At least it's better, you know. So we have to build a system that works for us. Set a limit that you know you can achieve. If you know that you are somebody who can read 10 pages a day, but you know that some days you are not gonna be consistent, try and set a limit that you know no matter how busy you are that day, you can achieve that goal or that limit. For example, like I said, 10 pages a day. You know that no matter how busy you are, 5 pages to you is nothing. To me, it's something. I'll spend 30 minutes trying to read 5 pages. But for you can spend 10 minutes reading 5 pages. That's good. Then set yourself up. Like, make sure you read that 5 pages. Even though it looks small, it's not your regular thing. Let it be there. Because at the end of the day, the Prophet ﷺ said, the best deeds in the eyes of Allah are those that are done consistently, even if they are small. If you can do 20 pages, do it. Go ahead.
How come you say even if they are small and you hit us with 20 pages?
No, like if some people might think, 5 pages small.
I mean, okay, if you are Hafiz, one can understand. But let's say people that are like learning, like you're starting to learn the Quran, then maybe yeah. But if you're Hafiz, you go ahead and do your thing, boo.
Exactly. Yeah. Go ahead and do it, but just try and be consistent. Don't set up a goal or a system that you know you're not gonna be consistent with. Just be genuine with your intention and be very consistent when it comes to where you want to achieve as a Muslim. You know. Do you have anything?
Yeah. What I want to add about the building a schedule for you is you have to remember the most important thing is that you are not impressing anyone. You are not impressing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're not impressing anyone. You are doing this for you. You don't have to look at somebody else and be like, oh yeah, it's good to get to get inspiration, to get encouragement from somebody, to see somebody and admire them for what they're doing. But you have to know yourself too. Don't do something because somebody did, let's say somebody, like for example, you see somebody do like a 15-page reading the Quran and you say, oh, I'm gonna do it too. When you know deep down, because we all know ourselves, when you know deep down you cannot do it, just don't. The best thing is know yourself. You know that you're a 2-page reader. Read your 2 pages, because at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes with your intentions. It's not about how many pages you read, because let's just say I go and see Aisha read 15 pages and I'm just here sitting here in my musalli and just reading 15 pages off.
You don't even feel genuine.
Exactly.
You feel like you're forced.
Exactly. So it's not genuine. So it's like, because there are some deeds when you do them, it's like good deeds, but you're not getting any rewards. because you have no genuine intentions. You're just doing it because you saw somebody else do it, so now you want to do it too. So remember, don't try to impress anybody. Don't do what you can. Don't do what you can. Like Aisha said, the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the ones that I should not say the Prophet said it, but the most consistent one. I would rather for you to basically every single day you read one page than to say, oh, I'm gonna read 10 pages, and then today you read the 10 pages and you don't open the Quran for like 6 months. Once you start the like one page, there's gonna come a time, at least, like you're gonna actually, how do you say it?
Improve.
Yeah, you're gonna like basically push yourself. Okay, now I'm so used to the one page, I want to do 2 pages. Like slowly, baby steps. Allah is not rushing you. Allah is not rushing you, so don't rush yourself. Don't look at somebody else. Do what you gotta do. It's about you, not Fatima, Nazi. We're all different. Just like how our fingers are like not equal, we're not equal. Some people, like Aisha said, they have 24 hours, but they do a lot. You don't. You have the same 24 hours, but you cannot. So you do. Make sure that you make. Make sure you make the most of your time. So that is what I wanted to add to building a schedule.
Also, I just wanted to say some examples. The people that I've come across my life, I have come across some people that they finished the Quran, and I'm so impressed by them. I'm like, look at your age mate, Aisha. Some of these people, you're older than a year or two, and they have finished the Quran. And what are you doing with your life? Basically, like, we all have different, like, I didn't want to get into my Quran journey story. It's very sad. I think I made a TikTok about it. Like, it's just sad. But now these people, I'm not challenging them or anything, but I just, I'm just a curious person, and I'll start to ask them questions, and I realize that one of the people, they cannot even remember like anything. They've said they finished it, but they cannot remember anything. Another one, they were not applying the rules correctly, and I told them, I was like, hey, you don't apply this rule. They're like, what is that? I'm like, wait, you finished the Quran, but you don't know this rule, Another one could not even tell me the alphabets, which one. It still blows my mind, because how do you finish the Quran and you're not able to tell which alphabet is which? So it just made me think, this is what I'm saying. You have a goal to finish the Quran, but then after you finish the Quran, what's your next plan? Just pack it and then just tell people I have finished the Quran.
Short-term plans.
Exactly. Build a long-term plan. Build a plan that will last you for long. My friend who reads 10 pages a day, he finished the Quran at the age of 9.
Wow.
But still, till this date, there is not a single mistake that I will make that he will not catch.
He's my hero. Let him know that.
He will catch every single mistake that I will make. He will catch every single, I cannot run away. Sometimes I know I have made a mistake, but I'm hoping that he did not hear that, but he has heard it, and he's gonna write everything down and correct me.
These sheikhs, not sheikhs, these sheikhs, I will not say sheikh, but like people who teach Quran, Allah gave them like some, I don't know, some kind of ears. They hear every single mistake.
Exactly. So he has a long-term plan, even though it was at a young age of 9. It's amazing that he had a long-term plan of making sure that he retained the Quran. So we really need to make sure that we have long-term plans.
Just to show them how long it is. How old is he right now?
He's 27.
Do the math, guys.
From 9.
Do the math.
He's 27 now.
What I learned yesterday, I forgot. Like 9. I'm here like, what duha? Is it wallayli?
Astaghfirullah.
Allah. This is very sad. But
another thing, I want to backtrack a little bit. There is this scary part when it comes to the Day of Judgment. I don't remember which sheikh it was in the past, but he was kind of crying when he was saying this part. He said, on the Day of Judgment, we'll be crying to Allah, telling Allah to send us back. My Rabb, send us back, send me back, because we wasted our time in dunya. We wasted so much time. And how we're telling Allah that, oh, you only gave me like a part of a day. You didn't give me like days. You didn't give me weeks or years. I was only on earth. I was only in dunya for like a part of a day or a day. Like, just check my records and see. You will see that I wasn't here for that long, because we've wasted our time. We haven't accomplished anything for our akhirah. Even right now in our dunya, many of us, we sit down and think from January till now, what exactly can we say we've accomplished?
Nothing. Nada.
You know, there are some people, alhamdulillah, those who are really, you know, they know what they're doing, they prioritize their stuff and all that. They can tell you what they've accomplished. But some, they can't tell you what they've accomplished from the beginning of the year till now. You know?
Yeah.
So, also the same thing for your akhirah. What have you accomplished? Allah has given you this time. The same 24 hours, even though we feel like time is flying, when Allah put barakah in your time, it's not about time is flying, it's that there's no barakah in your time. Because I remember when I was in my freshman year, I had so much going on, but it felt like I had all the time in the world, because I was doing what I was supposed to do as a Muslim. A day will not pass when I will not read the Quran. No, my sunnah prayers, everything, a prayer time will not come and I'm sitting down. Before the prayer time started, I'm already praying my sunnah and all that, you know. But eventually I let go of all those things, and I feel like now I don't have time. But no, there is no barakah in my time. And if you want barakah in your time, if you want to feel like you have time to do a lot, you need to prioritize your akhirah first, your deen first, your imaan first. Do the things that you need to do. When we do things for the sake of Allah, when we do what Allah is requiring us to do, Allah rewards us. Every good deed is multiplied by what? Tenfold. So imagine everyone is complaining about you, they don't have time, and they have just a limited amount of to-do list, and you come with your gigantic to-do list, and they are looking at you like, how do you do all this in a day? It's because Allah has really put barakah in your time. Like, try this for the rest of the year. Try to prioritize things that Allah has asked you to do. Your prayers, make sure your prayers are on time. Make sure you're reading your Quran, you know, and just see how your time changes. Like, I have experienced it. I've experienced both sides, you know. So I'm confidently telling you that when you prioritize Allah, He will put barakah in your time.
True. Very, very true. Do you have anything else to add?
One more thing I wanted to add is that we always think that our day starts today. Our day starts the night before. You know, an example that I'll use is when we were young, my mom would always tell us, you know, make sure your uniforms are out and ironed. Make sure your shoes, your socks, everything is packed. Make sure your books are packed, you know, so that the next morning will be smooth for you, you know. But if you go to bed disoriented, you know, you don't expect your morning to start smoothly for you. They said what? At night, the angels come and tell us what? End your day, end your nights, or end your day. Good. Do something good. They're telling us we are here scrolling.
Right.
And then we just fall asleep. We don't even do our prayers. Like,
comfortably get ready to sleep. Not knowing we might not even wake up.
we don't even wake up. It's sad. You know, your plan for the next day really starts the night before. You know, so we really need to sit down. I got a to-do list book not long ago. It's been like 6 days, alhamdulillah. I've been sticking to it because I never stick to this to-do list. I've been having it. I'll probably do it for like a couple of days and I don't even know where the hell the book is, you know. But I got a to-do list and I try to make sure I put realistic goals for the day. You know, I'm not gonna put a bunch of things knowing that you have work and stuff like that. And also, many people have work. Some people are busier than others. I understand that some people have to work 16-hour shifts a day. You know, again, it goes back to making sure you build a system that works for you. Get a to-do list. I'm planning to get a vision board also, inshallah, and write the things that I want to achieve by the end of the year. You don't have to wait till the new year starts before you. In fact, we are still in the Islamic New Year. We're actually at the beginning of our Islamic New Year still. So it's still a new year for you. Make sure you have something planned out. Get a book, journal. Like I have realized that writing helps me a lot. You know, we're used to these computers, these iPads, but I struggle a lot when it comes to studying from these gadgets because I'm used to notes. I like to write things down. It helps me remember more. So I'm trying to now go back, I'm so used to technology. I don't know if I can survive with no technology. And I'm not just talking about computer. I'm talking about anything electronic,
Yeah.
But sometimes we need to go back to the old ways. Write things down, the things that you need to plan for the day. Make sure they are actually important things. Ask yourself, anything you write down, ask yourself, how important is this? How important is this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it? If it's not a 7, let it not be there. If you need to rest, again, rest. But if it's not a scale of 7, let it not be in your to-do list. Make sure it's very, very important. So have your to-do list, write the things that you need to actually do for the day, and make sure you spend 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes the night before, and go through the things that you feel like you need to do the next day, and then look at the things that you've accomplished and the things that you've not accomplished, and ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do to better myself the next time? But yeah, I think that's all I have today for time management. Yasin will just recap because she's been writing down.
Well, yeah, so we talked about time management, we talked about rewiring your brain. So on the time management, we talked about how you make the most of your time. Even if you don't have time, remember, you can always, Allah is always, like, everything you do, Allah should be able, if it's not haram, fine. Every halal thing you do, Allah should be able, not even should be, Allah should be there. Allah should be part of the equation. So we're talking about time management, making the most of your time, rewiring your brain, meaning unlearn bad habits, learn to be disciplined, build a schedule that works for you, not for fulan, for you. Remember, the goal is to have realistic goals and a good habit. Like, to have a good habit, not like to basically have bad habits and have goals that basically you are not impressing. The goal is not to impress people, because this is for you. Because wallahi, when you have good habits, it's gonna be for you. Whatever you do good, it's gonna come back to you. If you do bad, it's definitely gonna come back to you. And also remember, whatever you're doing here, your work here in this akhirah is also this is not the akhirah. This is the dunya. Everything you do in this dunya is gonna follow you in the akhirah. Everything
like
you do,
shadow.
Yeah, everything. You know how they say when you die, the graveyard, two things follow you. Wait, one thing follow you. Two.
It's actually
because
more than
three things go with you.
It's more than
your family, your wealth, and your good deeds.
Yes.
So both go back, and then your good deeds. So imagine you're in this dunya doing bad deeds. It's gonna follow you. So remember, you're building your akhirah while you are here. So we're not saying don't go and work, don't go and enjoy yourself. But always remember, always have at the back of your mind, Allah should be part of the equation. Always. We're not boring. I don't know why we have this mistake that, Muslims are so boring. Because some of us think that worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be like miserable. Yeah. You should be miserable. Yeah. You should be like strict. I'm not saying don't be strict. Like in certain things, yeah. But like when you are, like, for example, you are out in the park, enjoying like the nature and stuff, you can be doing istighfar.
And there was I think I saw a TikTok. Yeah. Okay, TikTok is not all that bad, okay? It depends on the page you're following, okay? Yeah. Depending on your, how they call it? Your
FYP?
Yeah. But they said, like, when you go outside in nature and you're calling the names of Allah, like you're calling out to Allah, the trees, all of those things are going to be witnessed
exactly.
for you,
Yeah. So worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is we should not be, people, I don't know why people make it seem like it's so hard, it's like you cannot do it. No, you can. Whatever you do, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're driving, you're walking, you're studying, whatever you do, Allah is always there. So you include Allah. That is what I wanted to add.
One important thing. Have you ever heard this saying when people say time is money?
Yeah.
So time is money. We waste time.
I know we're wasting money.
But we don't waste money.
I know.
So technically,
girl, I waste money.
We're wasting money when we're wasting time.
Yeah.
True. And it reminds me of when I stopped reading novels. Because I'm like, these novels, all they do is hurt my emotions. Make me fantasize things that are very not realistic. It's here messing with my emotions, And I said I was gonna replace that novel with like Islamic books, or at least self-development books, because and then anytime somebody recommends a novel to me, I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that, because I feel like when I'm reading a novel, I'm wasting my time. I could use that time to read an Islamic book or a self-development book that would actually benefit me. Okay, so I read a novel of a guy who has a crush on this girl, trying to help to get her, and then there was an accident or whatever. Okay, now what's going to benefit me? You know, it has no benefits aside from, you know, playing my emotions, you know. So I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wasting resources that Allah has given me. So time is money, guys. Remember, when you're wasting time, you're wasting money.
True.
You know.
And we, trust me, like I just said, we have time, we don't have time. We choose what to do with our time.
Yes.
You sit there and say, I don't have time, but you do have time to
You do
scroll.
have time.
You do have time to listen to unnecessary things. You do have time to go to places you're not supposed to go to. You do have time to do things that are not deen related. But then when it's time for deen, then the excuses start.
Time.
Yeah, you do have time.
Stop with the excuses.
Yeah, stop with the excuses. Stop.
We know the problem. We know our issues. Let's be disciplined. Let's be focused and try to actually do the things that are required of us to do. Exactly. You know, and then it will really change our life. Like, just try it, and you will see how just everything will be so in place. Basically, that's how it actually feels. You know, detach from.
You just.
Oh my god, I tried, guys. I tried so hard to not say that. Anyways, detach from social media. If you're gonna be on social media, maybe set half an hour. That one is even too much. But let's say half an hour, and that half an hour is gonna include all your social media. Not half an hour on TikTok, half an hour on Instagram, half an hour on Twitter, half an hour on Facebook or whatever. No, set half an hour for all your social media, and after that, make sure you promise yourself not to go back again, because the more time you spend on it, just wasting time, and it's just gonna affect your brain. You know, many people would probably talk this on our podcast, but like, you see how many people they start comparing themselves.
Oh yeah,
because they're just spending their
so much time on
social media. You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all we have for you guys today. Really, really prioritize the things that you are required to do. Again, if it's not on a scale of 7 from the 10. Remove it. It's not something you should be doing. You won't die. I remember how my mom would be like, I should go and sleep. You're not missing out on anything. Go and sleep. Whatever is here, you will see it tomorrow. You know. But yeah, you're not missing out on anything, honestly. Just try to prioritize yourself.
You got this.
Be a better Muslim. And inshallah, may we all, you know, use our time judiciously. And may Allah put barakah in all of us our time, because we really know that. Anyways, that's all we have for you guys today. You know, inshallah, we will see you guys, or we'll hear you guys, or we'll talk to you guys in the next 2 weeks. Bye.
Peace out.